Okay, let's talk about someone we all know. You might even be this person. We're talking about the strong friend. That person who seems to be the rock for absolutely everyone else.
No, really. Take a second and think about it. Who just popped into your head? A friend, a coworker, maybe someone in your family? Or maybe you're looking in a mirror right now.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. They're your first call when things go sideways. They always seem to have it all figured out. They're the problem solver, and they never, ever seem to need anything from anyone.
And that's the real question, isn't it? Because that kind of strength, that incredible stability, it doesn't just come from nowhere. It almost always has these deep, complex roots, often starting way, way back in their childhood. So where does this story begin? Well, it often starts right here, with a kid being asked to step into a role they were never, ever supposed to fill.
There's actually a psychological term for this, and it's called childhood parentification. It's basically what happens when a child has to become the grown-up. Maybe they're managing the household, or more often, they're becoming the emotional support system for their own parents or siblings. They learn a really powerful lesson, super early. Their value comes from being needed.
And wow, this really shows you just how big that shift is. A kid's job is supposed to be about learning and playing and being looked after. But for the parentified child, that gets completely flipped on its head. Their role becomes to support, to manage, to care for others. And this teaches them something fundamental. Everybody else's needs come before theirs. Now, an experience like that in childhood doesn't just go away. It forges a powerful, lifelong belief system that they carry with them everywhere. And that belief, we call it survival independence. Now, this isn't just about liking your own company or being independent. Now, this is way deeper. It's a core conviction that you have to rely on yourself and only yourself. Why? Because you learned early on that needing something from someone else either makes you a burden or it just leads to disappointment. So being self-reliant, it's not a preference, it's a survival strategy. I mean, come on, how many of us have heard this before or said it ourselves? This phrase is basically the anthem for survival independence. It's not really about what's easier. It's a code that means it's safer for me to do it alone because I can't risk being let down.
So we've got the childhood cause and the core belief it creates. But what does that actually look like in the adult strong friend? Well, let's break down 5 key traits that come right out of this experience.
These 5 traits are so interconnected. You'll see how they build on each other, almost like a chain reaction, creating that whole strong friend persona that we all recognize.
Okay, so it all starts here. They're the go-to problem solver. Why? Because it's the role they know. It's what they've been doing since they were a kid to feel safe and valuable. It's their default setting. And if you're always the one fixing things, it makes perfect sense that asking for help would feel, well, just wrong. To them, having their own needs feels like they're being a burden, which is the one thing their entire survival system is designed to avoid. So if you can't ask for help, what do you do with your own problems? You push them down, you minimize them. You'll hear them say stuff like, oh, it's really nothing, or don't worry about me, I'm fine. It's a reflex to avoid feeling like a burden. Which leads us right to this, that cool, calm, collected exterior. That's not just a personality trait. It's armor. It's a protective shield that sends a clear message to the world. I've got this, I'm okay, I don't need anything. It keeps them from feeling vulnerable. And finally, it all comes together in this one defining trait, hyper-independence. They will bend over backwards to do everything themselves, even when it's completely exhausting, even when it's isolating. It's the ultimate expression of that childhood survival strategy, a fortress they built to protect themselves. Okay, so let's put all these pieces together. Understanding this whole progression, it's so important. Not just for having empathy for the strong friends in our lives, but maybe, just maybe, for understanding ourselves a little better too. And here it is, the whole journey in one line. It's a powerful and logical sequence. The parentification in childhood leads directly to that belief in survival independence, which then creates the adult archetype of the strong friend. It's a straight line from cause to effect. And this, right here, might be the most important takeaway of all. Being the strong friend isn't a character flaw. It isn't some choice to be distant. It's a really effective coping mechanism that they developed to get through a tough situation. It's proof of their resilience, but man, it can come at a huge personal cost. And that leaves us with this one final, really important question to think about. If the person that everyone leans on, was taught that they can't lean on anyone. What happens when they finally do need help? And maybe even more important, how can they even begin to let that support in?